I'm going to start with the red. Do you guys get nervous the first time you cut into fabric? So I have these triangles that I'm going to test out. I know it looks like I've used them, but I've never used them. I don't know what that is on there. But I'm going to try these Wonder Triangles for doing these little, they're not half square triangles, but they're for like stars and points and that. So I'm going to do these. And I think I'm going to cut the red out first and use the background because these things aren't changing. I did send somewhere, some inquiries. I sent out an ISO, and I also sent out an inquiry to the lady on Etsy. So we'll see what happens. I may have to try and get different gray fabric, which if that happens, I don't know, because it's so hard to see shading online, and I only have a Hobby Lobby that's close to me now, so we'll see what happens with that. But regardless of that, I am going forward with this red and this gray. So I'm going to test these out and see. I'm going to show you how these work or they don't work. But first I have to figure out how much fabric I need, which means I have to go back to this list. I guess when I did it last time, I don't know. If you understood what I was talking about, kudos to you, because I don't know if it makes any sense. I need to figure out how many blocks I'm doing across. I think I initially said 5 down over, 5 across and 5 down, but I think I would really try and like to make that 6 and 6. I wonder if that's going to make it uneven. I probably do want a center for the pattern to show up nice. But if I did 7 and 7, what's 7 times 12? 84. Yeah, I think I really should try and do 7 by 7, which means I need 49 blocks. Let me see here. All right, I need to keep the track of these. I don't need these in the center because that is going to be the background fabric. I'm making stars, and so I want the spikes. And it says that I need to cut it 5/8 inch wider than the finished size. So I want them to be 4.5 finished, so I'm going to cut it 4 and 5/8. It still makes me nervous though, cutting into the fabric. Because what if I don't have enough? Actually, this time, I think we're pretty good. So I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut, well, it says place 2 strips right sides together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with 2, 4, and 5/8 inch strips. So I cut this off here where I was supposed to place right sides together. Okay, good. Whew, because I thought, oh no, I thought they were supposed to be opposite, but now it does say right sides together, so. I just wonder if it'd be easier to go through and cut the corners off at the end and just keep cutting. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna worry about these corners at the end, and I'm just gonna keep flipping and cutting, because otherwise every time I'm gonna have to rearrange these 2 rows. Watch, I'm making way too many. But when you make a massive quilt, I just don't know that cutting this whole thing into the corners, that cutting this whole thing into these triangle pieces is going to be excessive. Because I need 25 of these blocks, and each one is going to have 4 star thingies. So that means I need 100. 100, and then I need 200 of each. And this is all my waste. So for all that, that's pretty good. That's not a lot. This isn't even a usable piece, so that's really good as far as waste. And then I'm gonna go back through, and it's got these little corners on them. I hope you can see that. And I'm gonna trim the corners off. I already did them on those. And I'm also gonna tell you how many I got out of one strip. But I am finding it's difficult to line them back up again. So maybe I should have done them when the ruler was on there, because now this is actually a lot more work than it was lining up the rows. So yeah, I should have taken some starch and glued them together. That would have saved me the most amount of time. So if you do this, now you know. First thing I can tell you is that when you cut 2 strips, you will have 56 of these corner pieces. Did you guys, when you watched it before, did you catch my mistake? I said, place right sides together. Okay, good. Whew, because I thought, oh no, I thought they were supposed to be opposite, but no, it does say right sides together, so we're good. And now, look at it. I have all these pieces and they all go the same way. That's not how they're supposed to be. And when I said put right sides together, this is right sides together. This is right side facing up. So I cut all of these. I cut all of these the same way. When I redo these videos, I'm like, oh, if I could just go back and redo it the right way. But there's no going back. So we'll cut 2 strips at 4 5/8 inch wide. If I do what the instructions say, I will do it right this time. So here's a good way to remember it by, is you should not be seeing the pretty fabric. You should be seeing the underside of the fabric. Then you know you're not like me and doing it wrong. I just use this heavy starch. It's cheap. It's in all the grocery stores. That's what I use. And I'm just gonna kind of glue it together a little bit. And I'm gonna put this on top as nice and neatly as I can. And then I'm going to iron them together. A whole lot easier to do those strips once you've already lined it up. So cut those little points off as you go. Don't save them for the end. And look, because I did it right, I have one for each side and it doesn't matter how many I cut now. So much smarter. When I did it before, I got 56 total. This will actually give me 28 pairs. So I'll have 28 pairs. So don't worry that I'm going over. I'm not. I still have lots more to cut. Oh, and I just turned it up. I just started cutting them the opposite way. But it doesn't matter because I put the right sides together, so. This is super easy and very accurate. I mean, I feel like this is just a really accurate piece and just so quick, and it already has the corners. So I'm actually curious, like this is all the waist. I'm actually curious about something. When there are little bitty corners like this, do you do them or do you not do them? Do you cut off those corners? I really would like to know. So if you do that, or you would do it, say, oh, well, I've never done it. I don't have a template like that. Oh, look, there's corners over here that I didn't cut off. Oh, because I wasn't using the full size. I wonder if I'm supposed to go back through and, oh, guys, like this is just a smidge. That's a lot, though, on that side. Ugh. Okay, so to be honest, this is how I am. I would definitely do those. But then I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't do these. But if you do those and you don't do these, kind of like if you do one, then you have to do the other one. I'm not cutting off this little tip over here on this side. But like doing that 100 times is going to get really old. I should. I know there's people out there watching going, yes, cut the other corners off. If you weren't going to cut the other corners off, then don't cut those corners off and leave it stiff. I really do not feel like going through all those. I'm for sure I'm not doing this little bitty one. But there again, like that's how it all matches up. No, because this is the corner. This is part of my box. So this corner will not matter. This one might, but this corner will not matter because I'm making a square. So this corner won't matter for sure, which I wasn't going to do in the first place. But the question is, I should and I will. I'll just sit here. It won't take that long. This template is super accurate. I might as well use what they've given me, the hard work that somebody's put into this. So I'm going to cut these trim things off. Because if I wasn't going to do this end, then I shouldn't have done that end.